Hi, everyone, and welcome here to Navigating the Storm. I am Nanette Murphy, and I am a divorce and life transition coach for women divorcing after many years of marriage. And I want to introduce to you my collaborative partner, Janine Fulla. And Janine, I would like you to share with everyone what you do, and then we can move on to the topic at hand today.
Absolutely. Hi, Nanette, and hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Janine Fulla, and I am a recovery and empowerment coach for women and men that have gone through narcissistic abuse or toxic relationship. And that's kind of why we teamed up together. We figured this is a good, solid match, and we're here to be of service to you. So hopefully you get something out of our videos.
Yes, great. Thanks, Janine. So as we are starting off on this journey of working together, each week we want to bring you a different topic that we'll discuss. And since this is all new to us, we are new to you, we thought that we would have today's topic as really just getting to know Janine and I, getting to know each other more, but in front of you, our audience and possibly potential clients, so that you understand more of what we do, what we each do, and why we found it really important to start working together. So Janine, will you start off by telling the audience more of what you do, and then we can get into how it really connects with divorce and healing and moving forward.
Absolutely. So interesting because, life is a journey, and I've had a journey of narcissistic abuse. I've lived with it my entire life with narcissistic family, and not even knowing that it was narcissistic abuse until a number of years ago. And realized then that my second husband was also a narcissist, and we had divorced. It was not a long relationship, but we did divorce, and it was pretty excruciating because I had no knowledge of narcissism. I had no knowledge that you could get a divorce coach, any kind of help. And so really when I found out and met you, Nanette, and what you do as a divorce coach, it was like, whoa, I could have really used you. And I know that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of other people that are going through something like this that could really use what you do. Most of what I do is the recovery and the empowerment, because after you come out of a relationship and you get through that divorce, I was thinking about this the other day, and it kind of thought about, I remember bringing my baby home from the hospital, my first child, walking in that front door and going, okay, she's here, but now what do I do? I don't know what the first thing I'm supposed to do is. And I kind of felt that when I came out of that relationship, like, okay, I'm out, but I'm still carrying a lot of wounds from this narcissistic, crazy relationship. So it's about recovering from that, which is what we go through. And then the empowerment part to bring you back to self so you can enter the world and have it and live your best life. So
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. So I really wanted to kind of dive in with you and what you do, Nanette, because I think this is such a pivotal thing, makes such a big difference to so many people. Even just knowing that you can have a divorce coach on your side. I mean, I don't even know how to put words to that, especially when you're going through that. It's just that support and someone that's in your corner and is working for you and supporting you. It's amazing. So can you tell us a little bit about how and why you got started in this?
Absolutely, Janine. And so many women go through what you went through and what I went through, and they navigate it literally on their own. And so, which brings me to where I am today. I went through a terrible divorce, married for almost 25 years. And you're skipping along through life thinking that you know exactly what direction you're going in, and then suddenly someone pulls the rug out from underneath you. And I always say, I remember the day that I literally say my world shattered, and you feel like life will never be good again. and you feel like you're lost, you're alone, you have no idea, like you said, what to do and where to go first. And so society now, like fast forward to where I am now, I've learned that society tells people, if you're divorcing, you need to hire a divorce lawyer, an attorney. Of course you do. But I have learned in the last few years so much, and wish, like you said, if I'd have only known there was such a thing as a divorce coach, why didn't I? I have no idea why. But it doesn't matter, because now I have made it my purpose, my passion to, I kind of word it as, I really want to change the way people divorce. I specifically work with women. So I say, I want to change the way women divorce. And what I mean by that is I want them to be empowered. I want them to have knowledge. I want to help them build their courage and their strength, because they go into it, as you know, just baffled, blind, no idea what direction you should go in. And I want to be able to give them almost a step-by-step process. Start here, go to here, start with a divorce coach, work with a financial advisor, then hire your attorney, because then you've got all your stuff prepared. But along that way, it's emotional. There's so many emotions that, and again, as you know, and as many people who are listening to this now, you know that I had no idea I should have done that. Or unfortunately, with women, what I find is their husbands or soon to be exes are giving them false information, putting bad thoughts in their head that they're not capable, or you won't get this, and then they're just even more lost, and they're more scared, and they're more fearful. And I'm here to tell them that if you take your time, take a breath, talk to me or a divorce coach. I mean, clearly, we can't help everyone, but get that knowledge, get someone who can at least help you calm your nerves a little bit, give you some encouragement, give you some positive things to look forward to. It'll just change the journey completely.
Exactly. I'm sure you found that when you're dealing with your clients too, mine were specifically with narcissist toxic people, but I found it interesting talking to other people that had divorced. You're married to someone for so long and you really think that you know them, and all of a sudden a divorce comes up and you're kind of going, I don't know who this person really is. Like, this is not the person that I saw. Who is this person now? And what you were talking about, they're trying to change your thoughts and all that kind of stuff, and intimidation and all that kind of thing. Well, that's a form of gaslighting. And,
Absolutely.
That's what narcissists do, but it's also, I think, what anybody does when they're scared. And quite often they are the scared ones. And so they're putting those kind of things out there. Once you're dealing with that kind of thing, that's where it's really beneficial to have someone like you to kind of go, okay, let's just stop here for a moment, realize that, yes, it is different. We have to play different, but you can do it. And the encouragement and the support.
Absolutely.
Did you find that too, that all of a sudden it was like, who am I dealing with? I thought this was my ex-husband, but this is a person I've never met.
Absolutely. You know what? And often that's what happens in most divorces. That person that you relied on before, you can't rely on them anymore.
No.
You can't rely on them to be truthful. You can't rely on them to take care of you. You can't rely on them to, have your best interest in mind. Oh gosh, no.
Yeah.
And if you are able to do that and it's an amicable divorce, hallelujah, and you're blessed. But that's just not the way the majority of it unfolds.
No.
I've talked to women who have said, oh gosh, I didn't get what I deserved, or I should have asked for more, or got at least what was rightfully mine. And they look back and it's too late once they close the books on it. it's often too late you can't revisit things.
No, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I think it kind of comes down to, so why wouldn't you get a divorce coach?
it's so true. And again, the more I talk to people and learn about the experience they had in their divorce, and honestly, what I am really excited about now is talking to divorce attorneys who are encouraging their clients to seek coaching, because they know they're not there to be your emotional support. That's not what you hired them for. Not to mention, they're really expensive. So when you're sitting with your attorney, you want to be business. You want to say, here's what I need to give you. Here's this, and that's it. If you have to, vent or be emotional or ask, what you may think is a silly question, that's what your coach is for. So ultimately, people think that they can't afford a lawyer and a divorce coach. Ultimately, a coach will save you money in the long
Oh,
run.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is, I mean, it's an emotional experience. So yeah, sitting down with your lawyer and talking about the problems that you're having, that's not really helping your case. So
No.
they're there, they're not helping you, but they're
Nope.
charging you for that time at a very
Absolutely.
expensive rate. So exactly.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
what's the old movie thing, the movie line or whatever, just the facts, ma'am.
Absolutely.
So
That's
that's
so
kind of like the lawyer, right?
That's actually really good. Yeah. Yes. Because sometimes you want to ask your coach a question before they get to the attorney.
Right.
And you know what? If I can answer the question, I will. Or I'll say, well, ask them this, this, and this. But come and see me before you talk to the attorney.
Yeah.
So then you can be ready to go. I always say it, this is an emotional journey, not just a legal battle. And you want to do things right before you sign those papers. Um, and not only that, with divorce coaching, you can also start your healing journey before you get to that point. You have to prepare properly for your divorce, but you don't have to wait till you're divorced to start your healing process.
Exactly.
You can begin that today.
Yeah.
And it's all with, mindset, or the fact that you are preparing. It has a whole lot to do with the emotional journey and figuring it all out with a clear head. And that's what the coach is helping you do, because you're not always with a clear head. And
No.
so it's just what do they call it? A neutral partner that's helping you make these decisions.
Yeah. Which gives you so much more confidence when you are meeting them face to face. And, you can accomplish a lot when you are confident. And knowledge is part of that confidence, and getting all that knowledge from your divorce coach.
Yeah.
It helps so much. And you're prepared when you go in instead of rattled.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
like you said, you start kind of healing as you're going through the process, so that when you are finished with that process, you're not depleted 100%, right? You've got somewhere to go and say, okay, what's my next step? How do I, what do I do next, kind of thing. So I think that's a beautiful thing.
there's so many things that you have to deal with through a divorce. And a big one for some people is even just that letting go process.
Yeah.
There's many steps. There's many steps that you have to take through a divorce. And I navigated all of it, as did you. And I wished I would have had some help had I known it was out there.
Wished I would have had help, because I did go through that intimidation, the gaslighting, and all of that. And I hate to tell you what I did give up. It was pretty much everything. And we had 5 houses, so that there was some things that needed to be divided. And honestly, I was so, I'm going to put it this way, so messed up by not knowing, not having the confidence, not understanding, and not having any support. I walked away from everything and didn't even take a fork with me when I left, and had to rebuild and restart my life again. Oh my gosh. And I had 2 kids. single parent, and you're starting over again. So yeah, I wish I had a divorce coach, just to, sometimes you just want to give up. But this
Well,
is the coach is gonna keep you in the game, with the strategy to win and get what you deserve. So that's so important.
it
So
is important, because you are not the only woman that I've talked to who has that happen. They're
yeah,
just frustrated, they just walk away, and then you can't go back.
no, you
Hard
can't.
to, it's
No,
hard to reopen that. Um,
no.
I'm going to pause here for a second, Janine.
Okay.
I have to, all of a sudden I'll edit all this. All of a sudden my battery is low.
Oh no. Okay.
Like, oh my God, seriously? I didn't notice that before. I'll edit all of that out. Oh my gosh. Such a bubblehead sometimes. I've been watching it going, oh goodness, now it's red. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now we'll pick up where we left off. Sorry about that. Okay. So
Okay.
yes, a lot of women walk away from things and that they shouldn't have. But here's one thing I do want to add. When you're working with a coach, it's just like working with your attorney. If you really want to be successful, I know that's a strange word to use in divorce, but if you want to walk away feeling good and confident, I really encourage you all, whoever hires a coach, to listen to them. Be willing to do the work. Because again, I've spoken to women and I've said things and they didn't listen, and they weren't happy when it all, came to an end. That energy, like, you just want it out. I just want to be done with it. And I had, warned one of my clients. I said, you really have to be sure that you are comfortable with this final decision. And she couldn't get it out of her head that she just wanted to be done. And at the end of it, she just did not feel like that she got a fair deal. I'm like, no, because you didn't stop and just pause for a minute and really look at the big picture. And you just have to be ready to take advice and listen, and not just jump around and go, I'm done. And that is another reason why hiring a coach at the beginning of your journey is so important, because unfortunately, by the time this client came along, she was so near the end that she was fed up and just went, I can't do this anymore. So, and that breaks my heart,
Yeah.
because there's really no reason for it other than you're thrown in the towel. But that's why, like I said, I really want to get my clients right even before they've decided. One of my most recent clients, I don't even think her husband knows she wants a divorce, but she's done. Again, narcissistic,
Mhm.
doesn't take responsibility for anything that he does. It's all her problem. Oh, it's all you. But that's really when you really need that support.
Oh,
Because she told me, she's like, just after talking to you once, I just feel so good and like confident, like I can do this. And that's that first step.
it is. It is. I have a really good question for you, and it's just left my mind. um, yeah, you'll have to edit that out too. It was something about, oh, exactly. And getting back to the point that you made, as far as getting your coach, getting it early, but listening to what the coach has to say. and your client that you talked about kind of did her own thing and got out and then wasn't happy. And the reason it is really important to listen to your coach, whether it be you, me, or any other coach, is because we've been there. We have walked the walk. We have gone. So we know what the beginning looks like. We know what the middle is. And we also know what the end is. And we walked many clients through this process very successfully. And so that's where you kind of need to trust your professional, because they will get you there. It may not be in the order that you have in your mind, but don't forget, for many of us, this is the first time you're walking through a divorce. So you don't know you actually don't even know how to recognize the beginning, the middle, and the end. You're just somewhere in there and you're just kind of trying to juggle it. So it's that finding that coach that you really trust, that has walked those steps, that knows and sees the process and knows where we are in that journey, is so important.
Really, really good point. Very,
Mhm.
very good point. Because yes, you don't really know the process. So
No.
we do. So let us walk with you and trust the process.
Yeah. Because the whole thing is, we are there for you and the best outcome for you. And so, no, that's awesome. You were talking earlier about the client that even after one phone call with you felt so much more confidence and said, okay, I'm ready for this. And she hadn't even begun her divorce yet, which is the perfect scenario, I guess, really. And I know, Nanette, that on your website, which I hope everybody does get to check out, we'll give you the links here at the end. But I know on your website too, you have some beautiful testimonials about people that you have worked with. What can you tell us, one that is maybe really profound, that really sticks out for you?
I think it's let me think. Probably one of my more recent ones where she said, I couldn't have done it without Nanette's guidance and support. It wouldn't have felt so smooth through the process. I can't take away the bumps and the hills and the turns, but I think I secured her enough in her seat that she didn't feel like she was going anywhere,
And I think that's where our title comes from, navigating the storm. There are bumps, and it's windy and it's going to get kind of messy sometimes, but you're there to navigate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that again, why we called it navigating the storm, because it's miserable. But you can weather any storm if you have the right resources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Excellent. And that's what we hope to be here for everybody that's listening, is just a really good resource for you. So so I think that's awesome for today. And is there anything else that you wanted to tell?
I don't think so. I think I just want to, direct people to your website. My website is Live Life Now with Purpose. And Janine is actually featured in my website as a resource. And
I
Janine,
have the same, and mine is janinefulla.com. And also, if you are looking for Nanette, absolutely, she is a resource on my website. So highly, highly recommended. I know we've had several conversations about this, so I do highly recommend Nanette's brilliance on navigating this through with you.
Thanks, Janine.
For sure.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. I hope you got a lot of takeaways from this. And then our next topic will be more about what Janine does and how she can help you all in getting out of or recovering from a toxic relationship and narcissistic abuse, because there are wounds and hidden scars and that need to be healed.
Yeah, and we're seeing more and more of it. I think it's getting more recognized, more and more talked about, what is narcissist and that kind of thing. So for sure, we'll get into all that in our next video. But thank you so much, Nanette. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you again.
All right. We'll see everyone soon.
All right.
Bye.